Very good. I'm Ben Schlegel. My family is my wife, Sarah, who works at Galleon Energy, used to be Lichty Oil. My son, Jeremiah, will be a freshman this year, and my son, Joshua, will be in 6th grade. And so I also grew up here in Shickley, and my parents are John and Roxy Schlegel, and my brother, Zach, teaches 5th grade here in Shickley and has for the last several years. Yeah. So the things that stand out to me about growing up in Shickley are obviously the people, friends, and family. In my class, we had 17 kids, which was a pretty big class even for then. I graduated in 2001. And so there were 11 boys, and several of us lived in town. And so we spent a lot of time running around, riding bikes, playing ball, all those good things. I have good memories of being at the baseball field in the summer. I remember when they put up the dunk hoop at the park, and there'd just be 15 of us down there playing ball, having family around, cousins, grandparents, all that kind of stuff. Just, makes it feel like home. Just the freedom of being a kid in a small town, being able to go and do things, and then I get to college and talk to people that grew up in bigger towns and didn't realize not everybody could do the things that we got to do here. My favorite memories are going to my grandma and grandpa's house. They lived just 2 blocks away from us, and especially when I was about 1st grade, 2nd grade, kind of in that range, I would go over to grandma and grandpa's house a lot, and especially play games with Grandpa. And then I remember him taking me to the cafe and always get a hamburger, and he would put ketchup on his hamburger and then also dip his hamburger in ketchup. So he was real big on ketchup, and so am I, so maybe I picked that up from him. But yeah, just loved going over there and playing games with him. Two people that I immediately thought of that are memorable to me were Dora Jane Winterstein and Esther Yoder. They were both older ladies that lived close to us, and so we would go spend time at their house growing up. So Dora Jane lived right across the street from us for quite a few years. I don't remember how old I would have been when she moved to Geneva, but she always had this little white poodle. I think its name was Sugar. I can't remember for sure, but I think it was Sugar. And so anytime you'd go over there, Sugar would get excited and want to see you. And then, just always enjoyed her. And then Esther Yoder lived over here, again, just about a block away from where I grew up. And I remember going over to her house, and she had these toy horses and wagons that she would always pull out when we came over. And so that was the highlight of going to her house, was getting to play with the horses and wagons. The buildings around, the community centers new since I had moved away and then come back, just as one big example. So, some things like that, and obviously there's new people in town. I graduated from Shickley, and now we're BDS, we're a community of 3 towns. But now, that my boys have been playing sports with these other kids, and I've gotten to know the parents from the other towns, I really enjoy those relationships that we've been able to build, and I think it makes us a stronger and more attractive community to be connected to them. Some of the words that come to mind, again, are safe. Like, you can just kind of turn your kids loose and know that they're going to be okay. Hopefully they won't get into too much trouble, but that nothing bad is going to happen to them, and it's nice to have that peace of mind. Friendly and helpful are a couple other things that come to mind. I know that if I need something, there's going to be somebody around, and maybe even somebody unexpected or somebody that I don't know all that well is going to be willing to jump in and help out. Yeah, So being a pastor in town, I have a lot of flexibility to my job, and one of the ways that I've been able to kind of use that flexibility is to coach different teams. School gets out with the younger kids, I can take off at 3:30 to go and coach, and so I've coached soccer and baseball for the younger kids. And then this past year, I had the opportunity to be one of the junior high football coaches. Really get to know a lot of kids and families that way. I guess being a pastor, I get to be involved with people in a lot of the kind of highs and lows in life. Having the privilege of getting to be the public face at events sometimes. Getting asked to give the opening and closing prayer at graduation. Also when we've had some tragedies here in town, and we've had some significant ones. Being able to help the community have words, very much a privilege, and not one that I guess had expected. First of all, and this is one that I think I'm just kind of starting to grasp for myself, is that things, especially in a small town, they don't just happen. Somebody's making it happen. And I think growing up here, I just took for granted that the things that happen, they're just gonna happen forever. This is just the way that life is. Or the volunteer hours that people put in. I think of things like just mowing the park. We were over there playing disc golf the other day, and if nobody mows the grass there, that's not gonna be very much fun. I think of all the people who are coaching ball teams this summer and all year round, the rescue squad and the fire department, and Jeremiah and I just got back from a trip to Washington, D.C. That happened because Mr. Shickley and Mrs. Schultz wanted opportunities for our kids to be able to see some things that they wouldn't normally get to see. And a couple things, want the kids to appreciate those people that are doing those things, to give them the opportunities they have. And I guess the second one would be the world needs your gifts and to be a contributing member of society. So, we all have talents and things that we're created with, and again, it doesn't just happen. It happens because people are contributing to the good of one another. So. But the one that I heard, a piece of advice that I really like, has been really helpful, is when you feel down, serve somebody. I think that's one of the fastest ways to kind of get through that. And in small towns like Shickley, there's lots of opportunities to help and to serve. And I guess the piece of advice that I would give to others, I think this is the key to a good and successful life, is to love God and love people. Our value system and kind of our foundation and kind of that inner work makes us who we are, and then the love people is taking what's happening inside of us and then spreading it out to the people around us, to our community. Loving people I disagree with, it's trying to get along, find a way to make that work. Love people is serving people who have a need, just like I know they would do for me, especially here in Shickley. So.